5th time this season that there has been a matchup of former Cy Young winners. CC Sabathia was in 3 of them. And tonight, the one we really care about, Tim Lincecum for the Giants, and Chris Carpenter will go for the Cardinals here tonight. Carpenter has been very good, Al, since the All-Star break. Certainly better than Lincecum.
Well, he's 9-3 at home. And maybe one of the best news is with 6 days rest, and that's what he's pitching on. He's 2-0 with an ERA under 2. He has not faced the Giants since last season when he really was roughed up, but in his career, 3-1 with a 4 ERA.
Well, a great pitching matchup ahead. We use Fox Tracks all year long. We'll tell you a little bit more about how that works when we come back. Fox Sports Midwest telecast, a little bit about location and velocity. Here's more on how it works.
Our Fox Tracks graphics are powered by the Pitch Effects tracking system that's installed in every Major League ballpark. The system uses 3 cameras strategically placed to track each pitch. Unlike radar guns, which report the speed only once in the life of a pitch, the Pitch Effects system tracks the ball along its entire trajectory for a much more accurate and consistent speed calculation. With all of this new tracking information, we can now identify each pitch's type, rotation, break, and where it crosses the front of home plate. The Pitch Effects system is accurate to within 1 inch, or about 1/3 of a baseball. We take all of this information and turn it into our Fox Tracks graphic, a great tool to bring new insights to America's pastime.
And Fox Tracks will be used quite often tonight. Great pitching matchup. 2 former Cy Young Award winners, Lincecum and Carpenter, when we come back. do. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. By Steak and Shake, life meets flavor. And by Chevy's Expert Auto Service. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at stlchevy.com.
One with a Philly in his hand.
Well, an interesting giveaway here at the ballpark tonight. All kinds of activity here at Busch Stadium. And inside the ballpark, the Cardinals are taking the field and getting ready for action here tonight. Game 2 of this 3-game series. A disappointment here last night as the Cardinals dropped Game 1 6-3. We'll take a look at the Giants lineup here tonight against Chris Carpenter. Andres Torres leads it off in center field. He has been very good. He's taken over that position. Buster Posey is the rookie, batting at .342. Some power in that lineup. Most of them have come via the trade. Sanchez batting 8th, and Lincecum will pitch for the Giants. Our Marshall Wireless starting pitcher is Chris Carpenter. ERA of 2.95, and he's had another outstanding season.
He really has. He's 9-3 here at home. He has not pitched against the Giants since last year, and he got roughed up in that game. But career-wise, he's 3-1 with an ERA under 4 in 6 starts. He's pitching on 6 days rest, and that's been good. He's 2-0 with an ERA under 2 in 2 starts when receiving 6 or more days of rest.
And here's the defense behind Carpenter. Holiday, Jay, and Wynn in the outfield from left to right. Colby Rasmus still nursing that calf. Skip Schumacher back in at second base. Felice, the newcomer, at third. Carpenter and Molina. And that's our Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers defense. And there's Randy Wynn in right field. The switch hitter being able to be deployed left-handed against the right-hander Lincecum.
Yeah, but as you see the Sun field, he's got the glasses. There gives you a better look. Really tough right out there, early going in right field. But another reason why the absence of Rasmus really is hurtful. You know, John Jay's doing a fine job. He hadn't committed an error all season, but to have Rasmus's left-handed bat, who left-handers this year are hitting pretty well against Lincecum, if anybody can. It's pretty tough.
I'll agree. Left-handed, right-handed, doesn't matter.
Yeah, but so is Carpenter.
And that'd be a tough assignment to put Alan Craig out there in right field.
Sure.
Without a lot of experience at this level.
So Tony's lining up with all of his left-handers.
And the switch hitter Torres leads it off and pops it up to center field. John Jay is battling that sun, but with the glasses down makes the catch out #1, and we're underway here on this warm Saturday night in St. Louis. We've had worse temperatures here of late.
Oh, most definitely. It's rather cool compared to some of the temperatures we've had here, including last start when Carpenter really was gassed by the heat. And that was last Saturday.
Strike one to Posey. That start really began kind of the negative spiral for the Cardinals. That's when the losing streak started. Carlos Zambrano all of a sudden turned things around and had a good start against the Redbirds.
You're absolutely right. Buster Posey has not been nice to a lot of National League pitchers. He's hitting .342. He is second to John Jay in rookie batting average.
And you'd have to say he's one of the guys in this lineup that Carpenter has to be careful with.
Yes, and hitting for an extremely high average, getting on base, and then with some of the bats and thunder behind him.
And a swing and a miss, and down goes Posey. And a good start for Chris Carpenter.
You can already see he's got a good breaking ball going here today. And if he can locate his pitches off the plate like that, down and away, get hitters swinging over the top of it, he's going to be having a fun day. So far, very few pitches, only 5 and 2 outs.
Sure is nice when you start off with a good breaking ball instead of trying to search to find it.
I tried to do that all my career.
Sometimes you end up hanging them in the middle before you actually get that sharp one.
And Ricky, when I first started, my first year, I had a very good curveball. And when I got to Double-A, I had a catcher that was more interested in protecting his base stealing average, his caught stealing average. So anytime a guy was on base, he never threw the curveball. And I kind of got to the point where I lost it.
3-0 to Aubrey Huff. This is how Jake Westbrook started out last night. 2 quick outs, and then he walked Huff and Burrell. And a pretty good start for Westbrook yesterday, and it is indeed a walk for Chris Carpenter. Very rare walk. Westbrook's day yesterday, 6 innings, 3 runs. He did strike out 7 San Francisco Giants, but was pinned with the loss. The Cardinals tried to make a comeback late in the game and just weren't able to get enough timely hits.
It was another quality start for Westbrook. Every start he's made as a Redbird has been quality. But, you know, with this lack of offense, you just can't afford to get behind. Cardinals are hoping that Pedro Feliz does what Pat Burrell has done for the Giants. He's really given them a shot in the arm, and particularly offensively.
Molina sets up inside, and Carpenter with the sinker. Great movement on that pitch, but it does not hit the corner. 1-1 to Burrell.
That has 4 career home runs against Carpenter and a .278 average. Only 5 hits, but 4 home runs. And he has 12 since he's come over to the Giants.
And he's a former #1 pick in the country, Burrell. Great talent coming out of college. And the Giants have actually done a good job with their #1s of late. Their #1 pick in 2006, Tim Lincecum. In 2007, it was Madison Bumgarner, who pitched here yesterday, and Buster Posey was their #1 pick in 2008.
Now, they picked much higher than the Cardinals. Lincecum was 10th overall, Bumgarner 10th overall, and Posey 5th, where the Cardinals selected Ottavino in the 30th round, Pete Kozma 18th overall, and Brett Wallace 13th. But obviously their #1 picks have really contributing to their big league club.
And his ball's popped up into left field. Matt Holliday should have no trouble with that one. The Cardinals will send Albert Pujols to the plate. Will his hot August continue? We'll find out when we come back. No score. Cardinal Nation out in full force here tonight, and we'll take a look at the St. Louis Cardinal lineup. Skip Schumacher back in that lineup. He'll play second and lead off. Randy Wynn, the switch hitter, will be in right field. Pujols, Holliday, Jay in the middle of the lineup. Molina is swinging the bat very well of late. Pedro Feliz, the newcomer, will bat 7th, and Tony La Russa deciding to bat his pitcher 9th here tonight against Tim Lincecum. And I don't know how much more we can say about how good this guy is, Al, other than he has not pitched well in August. That's clear, but he is as good as they come.
Absolutely. He's finally turned 26 years of age. He's won the Cy Young in the last 2 seasons. He's a 3-time All-Star. You know, he is 5-0 against the Cardinals with a very good 1.54 ERA in 5 starts.
Schumacher grounds out to second base. And he hits that ball to a guy that doesn't make very many errors. This is a good San Francisco Giants defense. Freddie Sanchez has not made an error in 75 games. Fontenot, the former Cub, is replacing Edgar Renteria. Posey and Lincecum, the battery. And there's a very good arm in right field in Jose Guillen.
They got some good defensive players on their bench also.
Aaron Rowan.
Sherholtz, first baseman. You know, the Japanese, Ishikawa. They'll get Renteria back in a few more days. And you have, you know, his bat. But, you know, you put this pitching staff, and they have some great young arms, and then you have good, tight defense. You don't have to score a lot of runs to win. And like most clubs, when they score 3 or more runs, that's usually a victory for the Giants with their good pitching and defense.
They have the best record in baseball with that stat when they do score 3 or more. And when you've got Lincecum and Kane and Zito and Sanchez in your rotation.
And Ricky, the Cardinals, conversely, a porous defense, which they hope Feliz will help out. And they really do need to score more than 4 runs in order to win.
1-2 to Randy Winn. Good fastball. That one at 94 miles an hour. There's some talk that Lincecum's fastball not quite up to his normal speed, but it isn't just the velocity. It's whether or not the ball has a little hop to it. And having seen him up close and personal down on the field, his fastball has incredible hop to it.
Yeah, and he's very deceptive, and then he has a tremendous changeup.
And there's an off-speed pitch, hit on the ground to short. 2 groundouts. That's the way the Cardinals start.
Also a big strikeout pitcher. He's always around the league leaders, if not winning.
Albert Pujols. What a month he's had. Traditionally been a power guy in the month of August, really every month, but particularly August. Home runs up to 32, and he's sitting on 398 career home runs.
He's hit more home runs in the month of August than any other month. He hits for the highest average in August, and currently is tied for 49th place with Dale Murphy on the all-time home run list.
And there's a ground ball, might be cut off by the third baseman Sandoval, and it is. So all the infielders get a chance here in the first inning. Easy inning for Lincecum. as he went to the plate out.
Go back to what Brandon Phillips did. When he tapped the shin guards of Molina, he took exception. When Albert does it, it's almost like you're honored to have the great hitter acknowledge you and say hello. But remember, Molina took exception because Brandon Phillips just said, I hate you, I hate everyone on your team, blah, 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 blah. You guys play like sissies. And, he took exception to it.
Among other words.
Well, I cleaned it up as much as I could.
You did good. You did very well, Al. Congratulations.
But it's just when Albert does it, it's kind of like, boy, you're honored to get tapped and just a little acknowledgement and a hello. He does it with the umpires. Yes. The umpires don't up chat.
And so folks who might have thought that the gesture itself was the inflammatory part, it really was what Phillips said the day before.
Yes.
Three and one to Jose Guillen leading off for the Giants here in the second inning against Chris Carpenter. And a fly ball to center field. John Jay records his second putout of the game. Our Toyota keys to the game. Look at the last 5 outings of both Tim Lincecum and Chris Carpenter. And Carp has been better. Lincecum 1-3 with a 5.59 in his last 5 starts. Very surprising.
Well, he just kind of gotten out of whack for the first time in his young career. And, actually, Carpenter got roughed up in his last outing, but both of them efficient first innings. A little surprising is to see Lincecum trying to cool off. But Carpenter, who you normally think is going to be throwing ground balls, has thrown 3 of the 4 have been fly ball outs.
It's such an interesting contrast between these two guys. Chris Carpenter, a big, tall, strong guy with no hair. And then you've got Tim Lincecum, who has been mistaken for the bat boy on some of the Giants road trips.
Well, I didn't realize he does have hair.
I would say so. Pedro Feliz takes care of Pablo Sandoval, a very dangerous hitter in the Giants lineup. 2 outs. But a couple of different styles. Lincecum, of course, much younger, and he's very, very slight. If he weighs 170 pounds, I'd be very surprised. But yet he throws in the mid-90s, has very unique mechanics, and certainly very deserving of the Cy Youngs that he has on his mantle. Mike Fontenot bats with 2 outs and nobody on. The Cardinals play him to pull in the infield, and they shade him a bit to the left side in the outfield. Fontenot with a very steady game defensively here last night. Carpenter missing with back-to-back curveballs, and those are the curveballs that he's kind of been casting and flipping and hasn't really been pulling down on.
About the first inning, that he had a better, tighter one, got out there and pulled down on it, so it was down in the zone. And these last one, like you say, flipping it up there and not pulling down on it, so it kind of has a frisbee effect.
Both Carpenter and Lincecum have given up more home runs this year than they did last year. Of course, they were nearly perfect last year.
Yeah, Carpenter given up 18 home runs, but one of the keys is 13 of them have been solo shots.
Flare to left field, and it'll hit right in front of Matt Holliday. And the Giants have their first hit. That belongs to Mike Fontenot.
How do you stop a losing streak? Well, try and go out there and throw a few zeros up. And good pitch down and away, and went with the pitch. He's not going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And with 2 outs, if you hold him to a single, he shouldn't come around to score. But Carpenter's got to contain this offense, throw up some zeros, and hopefully get his team to respond and get a lead and then be able to hold it.
And that was a good use of Fox Tracks. I hope folks enjoyed our feature on that. That pitch clearly shown just a bit off the outside corner, too close to take for Fontenot. And we thank Southwest Airlines for being our sponsor for Fox Tracks. And it's been a nice feature in our telecast. And I think the feature actually raised the ire of the Cardinal manager a bit yesterday as he questioned a couple of the calls in the 9th inning. He's still a little hot about it today.
He could have questioned one at first base, too.
Agreed.
But the human element is very much a part of the game.
And Tony actually agrees with that and has had great respect for umpires. And he felt last night that his comment was something along the lines of Brian Wilson doesn't need any help. And there were 2 or 3 pitches that were close in the 9th inning as the Cardinals were trying to come back.
I could think there was a 2-strike pitch to Holiday.
And 1 to Lopez.
Yeah.
And 1 to Albert. Breaking ball in the dirt to Sanchez. Sanchez, one of 3 players in this game who have won National League batting titles.
Average way down. And he got off to a tremendous start. 380 in his first 18 games, but 230 in his last 60.
Pujols and Holiday, obviously the other 2. And Sanchez, even though he has been struggling, Al, he's still a tough out.
One of those pesky guys.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, most pitchers would prefer to face a big guy. And because other than guys like Albert and Holiday, they have holes. You know, if you can pitch to their weaknesses, you can get them out. But these little pesky hitters just flare it, quail it. They do this.
Skip Schumacher takes care of it. Chris Carpenter through the 2nd inning. We'll look at the pitching motions of Carpenter and Lincecum when we come back. Guys that get great results, but they have distinct pitching styles.
Well, we're going to show you this, and remember, it's the stationary camera behind home plate, so it's not moving. It's the same spot for both pitchers. Look at Lincecum. You can read every letter on the back. Carpenter, you can't read one of them, as they both pretty much hide the ball from the hitter. And it's tough, that deceptive motion, particularly more for Lincecum. Tough for that hitter to pick up the release point, and it's a lot of movement. And then because he's all arms and legs and an excellent changeup to go with a good fastball, you know, you get fooled quite a bit with him. You know, one of the interesting things is he won his 11th game, and then he tried to tinker with his motion. And he started lifting his arms above his head, thinking that it would slow him down. And actually, it was in reverse. It sped up his motion, and his arm was dragging. So he went back to this, his normal motion his last time out. Got beat again against Chicago. But you see how he really hides the ball, and look at the deception as that ball right there is like a splitter, the changeup, and very tough pitch because you just really don't have time to distinguish between the fastball or the changeup.
One of the important parts of a pitcher's delivery is making sure that his hair stays out of his face.
Or your mouth. He's so baby-faced he can't grow a mustache, so he's trying to wrap his long hair around and gets a little facial.
He's a different cat, that's for sure.
Well, his nickname's the Freak.
And what does Fox Tracks tell us about the location?
Pretty close.
3-2 to Holiday. Line foul. One thing about Lincecum now, as you were talking about his pitching motion, when he was signed by the Giants, part of the deal that he made with the Giants minor league system is they could not talk to him about his mechanics.
Right, and that was something his father insisted on, kind of taught him this way. And I don't know about you, Ricky, but I'm a firm believer in allowing somebody, as long as they're successful, to do it however they want to do it. Just leave them alone. Now, if they start failing, then you can start making your simple adjustments. But there's not one way to pitch for everybody. And so everybody's body muscle tone is all different. Let them do what's most natural and most comfortable.
George Kissel taught Jose Oquendo, and Jose talks so much about how much he helped him understand how to coach. He said, never offer advice to a player about fielding until they come to you and say they need help. Don't teach them yet. Wait till they come to you. And as a player, you're so geared to kind of have your own thoughts about what makes you successful, and you don't want to tinker with that too much. The 3-2 to Holiday is ball 4. Leadoff base runner for the Cardinals. Lincecum not happy.
Trying to get together with his young catcher on what he wanted to throw there. And that's another aspect that I don't think fans really understand, is that communication between a catcher and a pitcher, and how when you're in sync, everything flows. But when you're fighting your catcher and he's offering a suggestion. So you, as a pitcher, should throw what you want, because that W or that L goes behind your name. And you've got to have a total conviction as to what you throw or want to throw.
Not necessarily an arrogance, but a confidence.
Sure, but the best thing is when you've got something in your mind, then the catcher reinforces that, putting down the same side.
There goes Holiday, swing and a miss, throw up the line, and Holiday is safe. A hit and run, pitched down and in to John Jay, and Buster Posey could not get a good handle on it, and the throw was wide to the second base side.
John Jay has to protect the runner, so he has to swing at that ball. And Buster Posey's been throwing out a little more than 31% of runners, but that was a very poor throw and up the line. 8 stolen base for Holiday.
Now John Jay's job, hit the ball to the right side of the infield to move Holiday into scoring position with 1 out.
Is it that tough to remember before the game starts, when you get a runner on second base, what sign it's going to be? Holiday kind of stumbling out there, but he gets in safely.
The 0-1 is bunted towards third, and this should get the job done. Very well done by John Jay. Productive sacrifice. And Matt Holliday is still way up the line at third, as there was a conference on the mound and nobody was paying attention to Matt Holliday, and he was halfway home trying to score.
Here's John Davidson, JD, as he's taking in this game. Blues president, general manager.
There's the successful sacrifice. And with Sandoval coming off the bag, Matt Holliday was trying to sneak home.
That's a good point, Ricky. We've seen clubs, you know, that all of a sudden kind of forget those things. But good luck to the Blues. And he was in goal when back in the 70s here.
RBI opportunity for Yadier Molina. And St. Louis is a great town for hockey and for baseball, and a lot of folks looking forward to the Rams' upcoming season. So what a great sports town this is.
And I know his family has really enjoyed moving back to St. Louis. Infield in. Bruce Bochy thinking runs are going to be a premium tonight, so he doesn't want the Cardinals to take an early lead.
Good swing by Molina, fastball up, and that's the pitch that Mark McGuire was talking about in the pregame show, the one the Cardinals had to be careful about swinging at too often, that pitch above the belt, because with Lincecum, got a little extra giddy up to it.
Well, you know that a ball up in the strike zone is very hittable, and it's usually you get a sacrifice fly, a fly ball pitch. But that ball a little bit above that, or the ball that has that hop that you're speaking of, is a pitcher's pitch. And that one, you either pop up on the infield, foul territory, or you swing through it.
Another foul ball off the bat of Molina, and sometimes the most important at bat in a game happens in the second inning. So often we think about the 8th and the 9th inning, the game on the line, but this at bat could prove to be a big at bat in this game when you've got Lincecum and Carpenter on the hill.
That's it. You expect this to be a low-scoring affair, so it's very important. Cardinals have not had a lead, you know, in this 5-game losing streak. They have not led for 1 inning.
Another foul ball. Molina actually hit that ball twice. Hit into the ground, then came up and hit his bat again. And that's only a problem if you're golfing. I think that's a 2-stroke penalty. Not that I would ever do that.
Or call it on yourself. I know you and your ethics.
Actually did it the other day.
Yeah, see? And you didn't penalize yourself,
I did not.
did you?
I did
well,
not.
That's how you shot 77.
0-2 in the dirt. Molina, a very good at bat against Tim Lincecum. Just trying to get the ball in the outfield. Talk a lot about situational hitting. Sometimes it's moving the runner over, as John Jay did. Now it's get him in any way possible.
I mean, just trying to concentrate what he's doing. Just, you know, whether they score here or not, he's going to be acting like he has to throw a shutout.
Lincecum thinking strikeout. If you think about it from the Giants' point of view, but Yadier Molina, one of the toughest hitters in the National League to strike out year after year.
48% of the time he's delivered that run. Yadi struck out a few more times this year, but remember, you do have a strikeout pitcher out there.
2-2. Ground ball to third, and going on contact is Holliday, and he is out at the plate. On a good throw from Pablo Sandoval. And the Cardinals taking a chance there. And we'll look at this at bat, pitch by pitch.
Well, early in this round, he just really challenges him with fastballs, throwing back-to-back fastballs. Then he gets that third one down a little bit. Then a little breaking ball, and then a changeup. Then he comes right in back with a fastball, and now he grounds this one here. You got to go on contact. You know, Sandoval makes a nice play right there. They've only committed 50 errors, and Sandoval has 1/5 of those. But going on contact, at times you're going to get yourself thrown out, but you make the team execute. And this time the Giants were good enough.
Pedro Feliz had 2 hits in his debut. You know, a pitcher often appreciates the defense that happens behind us. Tim Lincecum.
You know, most definitely, and many times you appreciate somebody taking the chance. Could have been an easy out at first base, but it's the awkward play over to go get the runner going home, and they executed.
Tim Lincecum, very fiery competitor. There's a ground ball just foul. And in that one hopper to Sandoval, if that is maybe 3 feet more to his left, or if the shortstop has to get that ball
there's no way.
Make a backhand play, he probably does not throw out Holiday at the plate.
He just concedes the run, and Sandoval would have done the same thing if that's just, one more step. Obviously, would have been better if Molina could have hit the ball to the right side. But that pitcher has something to do with that, as you see him running the ball in. By running the ball in, it's hard to hit the ball to the right side.
Two and two to Pedro Feliz. Cardinals making a deal to get Pedro Feliz, sending a minor league pitcher who is a converted catcher.
Mott 2.
Mr. Mott 2. His name was actually Carpenter. We had to make sure we sent him the right Carpenter.
Yeah. There's a young man playing at AA that's been a very impressive Carpenter.
Also named Carpenter. That's correct. Feliz goes down swinging. We're through 2. No score in St. Louis. And by Jack in the Box. Right now, get Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo. Served with curly fries and a drink for $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. And that camera work is brought to you by Tony West, who is riding on the back of one of those motorcycles here this afternoon that were on display at the ballpark. And what a job that was, Al, him getting those shots for us.
I could at least clean the windshield before he started shooting through it, but
he looked a little nervous on the back.
Oh, he's never nervous.
He does a great job, as does the rest of our crew.
He did a great job driving that motorcycle and doing the camera work all at one time.
Don't do that at home.
It's amazing what he could do with his toes.
Lincecum, a left-handed batter. And there was a time where teams would really frown upon a pitcher, even if that was his way, not to let him hit that way. He's exposing his pitching arm. And Chris Carpenter exposes his weakness to hit a curveball. Out number 1 here for the Giants. Our U.S. Cellular text poll here tonight. What are your expectations for the upcoming road trip? The Cardinals have a big road trip ahead, a 10-game trip. Will they win 7 to 10 games, 4 to 6, or 1 to 3?
Let's hope it's A.
And I think a little research should be added to this, Al. The teams that the Cardinals will be playing on this road trip are the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Washington Nationals, and the Houston Astros. So if that will help you with your texting.
Well, part of the problem, Ricky, has been that the Cardinals have played pretty well against teams above 500, but have had trouble with the sub-500 teams.
You're absolutely right. 6-3 takes care of Andres Torres, and the Cardinals have pitched him very well in this series. And Chris Carpenter gets his first out on the ground other than a strikeout. Lincecum, on the other hand, is not allowed a fly ball. He has kept the ball in the infield. And I wonder if that's a stat, Al, that we talk about too much. Do we not talk about it enough? The fly ball, ground ball ratio. Is that important?
I think it is. You know, especially in these smaller ballparks where they're taking away more and more foul territory, that anytime you keep the ball in the air, you've got a chance for a much easier out.
A base hit the other way for Buster Posey. What a talented young player he is, and he now has an 8-game hit streak. Follow the Cardinals on Facebook and or Twitter. Then check out the first ever social media night. I know Al's excited about this. It'll be at Busch Stadium Thursday, September 16th. The Cardinals will host the Padres. One great price includes a ticket to the game, access to a pregame event featuring social media savvy guests from the sports and St. Louis scene. For more details or to purchase tickets, visit cardinals.com/connect. Social media night, Al.
Who would have thunk it?
I don't know. Al is tweeting as we speak.
Oh, yes.
You want to go to that? We can tweet back and forth?
No.
Text, tweet?
No.
Facebook?
No.
Chris Carpenter has allowed just 2 giant hits, pitching here in the 3rd inning. Tim Lincecum has allowed just 1 base runner, that via leadoff walk to Matt Holliday, who was later cut down at the plate.
It's important for the Cardinals to stop this 5-game losing streak at home, but inch closer to Cincinnati, who will be playing in L.A. later tonight. But right now, they're trailing the Giants, who are trailing the Philadelphia Phillies in the wild card race.
Giants a game behind the Phillies. The Cardinals 3 games behind Philadelphia. 0-2 pitch inside. And it wasn't that long ago. In fact, just a week ago. What a difference a week makes. After the game last Friday, game 1 of this homestand, the Cardinals had just come off that sweep in Cincinnati, and they'd beaten the Cubs in game 1. They had Carpenter going against Zambrano, and a week later, they're 4.5 games out of first place. And a ground ball handled by the former Gold Glover, Albert Pujols at first. Chris Carpenter has been nearly perfect. Inning. Let's check out the crowd through the first inning fan cam and see who's enjoying the game. Budweiser, it's what we do. fans certainly enjoying the game. They would enjoy even more some runs against Tim Lincecum here, bottom of the third inning. Ryan Carpenter in the top of the lineup for St. Louis. And the Redbirds have had a lot of trouble scoring runs in the last week, averaging just over 3 runs per game. And what's worse than that, Al, is they have not hit with runners in scoring position, batting just 189 during that time.
Yeah, they just, when you think about what's happened this last week, 3 different times they have made a late charge, but fallen short all 3 times. But it was really after falling behind and then trying to catch up. Yesterday was the 8th and 9th inning. The other 2 times were in the 9th inning, but really were out of it offensively until that time. And many times it was maybe by walks or really the slight batting average. Did have 13 hits yesterday, but just not getting them at the right time. And other than Pujols, they're all singles. Lincecum struck out Felice to end the inning. The last 2 seasons, he's led the league in strikeouts, as he's also picked up Cy Youngs in the last 2 years.
Ground ball to the left side. Tough hop handled by Sandoval. And he throws out the speedy Brendan Ryan. And a good start for Tim Lincecum. Lincecum's pitched very well against the Cardinals. Here is a list of pitchers who have absolutely owned their opponents with a minimum of 5 starts. Derek Lowe leads the pack 9-0 against the Pirates in 9 starts. Adam Wainwright makes that list. But Tim Lincecum 5-0 against the Cardinals in just 5 starts. You might as well take a chance if you're Chris Carpenter. Just swing the bat. Maybe you'll hit it. What would be unfair is if Lincecum threw him a forkball. Aubrey Huff takes care of Carpenter, out number 2. Are you traveling this season? Take the Cardinals with you. Pair MLB.com's At Bat 2010 with your MLB.TV subscription. And watch games live and on demand from your iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad throughout the regular season. For details, visit Cardinals.com. And that brings Skip Schumacher to the plate. He bounced out to the second baseman Sanchez to lead things off for the Cardinals. Trying to pitch him in, and he hits that inside corner. Catcher's got to love that. You put the glove up, and the pitcher hits it. Now it goes away, and the pitcher's away. That's what wins you Cy Young Awards. 0-2 to Skip Schumacher. Skip's average at 264. And the Cardinals need him to score runs.
Let's go back to strike 2 here as Lincecum misses his spot. Or, I mean, he hits his spot right there. And so it sells the umpire that ball's out of the strike zone, but catcher was set right there. It was close enough, and many times that umpire will be swayed by how the catcher receives it.
Schumacher tries Sanchez again. 3 up, 3 down for the Cardinals. They go quietly here in the third inning. What a pitcher's duel we've got going here in St. Louis. Pat Burrow leads it off for the Giants here, top of the 4th inning. We've had just 2 hits in this ball game. Both pitchers very sharp today. Not necessarily piling up the strikeouts, but their good location has led to very sparse offense. And there's a ball hit hard to left center, but in the sights of John Jay. 1 out here in the 4th inning. We want to thank Joe Cunningham, one of our favorites. Tomorrow, Smokey Joe will be honored for doing it right. He started the elementary school program 25 years ago. Al, you know it so well. He's taught over 1 million kids during that time about making positive choices in their lives. The program, of course, emphasizes 3 important messages every time you do one of those programs, Al, or Joe does. It's say no to drugs, stay in school, get involved in sports. Congratulations to our great friend, Mr. Positive, Joe Cunningham, on your 25-year milestone. And we talked about the activity here at the ballpark. Al, you got a chance to spend some time with some of our servicemen and women before the game.
Yeah, Military Appreciation Day, and these are a lot of young recruits coming out of Fort Leonard Wood. And we had General Hodges representing Scott Air Force Base and General Quintock from the base commander at Fort Leonard Wood. Also a couple sergeant majors and a very special young man that made a severe sacrifice protecting our country as he lost both legs. Young man, Danny, you know, and he's got 4 kids, a couple little types and everything like that, but it was neat seeing them out there.
And you had a chance to spend some time with them before the game.
You know, and not only that, but I was over on the parking lot. They had a stage where the USO was out there. Dave Glover, you know, was barbecuing, and Rocky Sigmund from Anheuser-Busch. A lot of beverages and food and everything, and really a nice time getting a chance to talk with those troops for about 90 minutes.
Pablo Sandoval bats with Guillen the runner at first. He had a 1-out single. Sandoval popped up his 1 trip. But we know he has home run power. We saw it here last night. 415-foot shot off of Jake Westbrook on a pitch that was pretty good down the middle of the strike zone. There's one down and away, and it's laced down the left field line, and it is foul. And now, here you were before the game.
Yep, this is Danny throwing. Watch this heater. He had the best throw of the bunch, and lost both his legs. I think he told me in 06. And actually he's from New York, but sit there and said that, you know, he liked this area, and so he's come here and made his home. He's got a home, and like I said, he has 4 young children. Wife question.
Yeah, that's great that you had a chance to visit with him and also catch with a long glove. Wow, that was pretty impressive.
Right-handed. And how about this shot? This cutter. You talk about a cutter locking you up. And look at how far off it is, but it's almost a self-defense swing. You find that ball's coming at you, and you feel like it's going to hit you in the belt buckle, so it's better swing.
Sandoval's a very, very good hitter, but that's an at-bat he's going to want to forget.
It's amazing they do that way, don't they? Sometimes when we throw one, we forget about what happened.
You want to forget about some of them when they're about halfway to home plate because you know what's going to happen.
Isn't that the truth? You know, you can go out there, and there's sometimes where when the ball releases your hand, you know if the hitter even has a chance to even make contact.
Ground ball to second.
And other times he's trying to pull it back.
You can't do that, Al. They won't let you. as one of his 2 career games without recording a putout while playing first base. The only player in Major League Baseball to do so twice. That's hard work.
Really hard.
That means no ground ball.
Yeah, no ground ball in the infield, but you're receiving the throw at first base. So probably a lot of strikeouts, fly balls. Could be involved in a 3-6-1 double play.
Get an assist, just not a putout.
Yeah.
Wynn, Pujols, and Holiday to face Lincecum here in the 4th inning.
Well, I'm sure glad Lincecum's been struggling.
Glad he's not good.
Yeah.
Randy Wynn bounced out in the 1st inning. A lot of ground ball outs from Lincecum here tonight. Just 1 strikeout. That was Pedro Feliz. Cardinals looking for their first hit. And this might be it. Down the right field line. And it's gone. A home run for Randy Wynn, and it's 1-0 Cardinals.
So often when you have a pitcher of the caliber of Lincecum or Carpenter, it takes a home run because they aren't going to make 3 or 4 mistakes in an inning. You see, he misses his spot. It's supposed to be down and away. You saw Posey's glove go up and over the middle of the plate, and there was no doubt about that one as he pulled it down the line.
Randy Wynn has been much more effective with the Cardinals when he's playing than when he's pinch hitting. And there's a fly ball to center field, but this one won't be deep enough. One more look at that home run pitch from Tim Lincecum.
Watch the glove of the catcher as he misses location right in the middle of the plate. They wanted it down and away. So often when you look at home runs, you just watch that catcher and you can see his glove immediately goes up over the middle of the plate, and it's just an error in location.
And judging by the reaction of Lincecum, one of those pitches we were talking about earlier, when he let it go, he had a little bit of a reaction of uh-oh.
Yep.
He knew it was not going to go to the location that Posey asked for.
Only the 3rd home run for Randy Wynn, and Randy's bounced around a little bit. He even played in San Francisco. And Randy has a distinction that nobody wants to have, but he is playing in his 1,680th game without making the playoffs. The highest active streak in Major League Baseball. But think about it. Think of some of the greats. Ernie Banks.
Right.
Joe Torre. He's been World Series manager and winner, but never played in the World Series. An MVP of the National League. Same thing with Banks, a 500 home run Hall of Famer, but never played in postseason. It's a lot easier now with the extra tier of playoff games.
Down the line, tough play for Guillen. He does not run as well as he used to. Aubrey Huff, the first baseman for the Giants, is also on that list, Al, with many games without getting a chance to play in postseason. And any player worth his salt wants to do that. Sure. That's part of what you're there for. It's not just to play and be a big leaguer, but it's to play in October.
Now with the division series, you have another layer of playoffs.
One and 2 to Holiday.
Huff played with Tampa Bay before they got good.
So it's not just who you play for. It's when you play for that particular team.
Sure.
Tampa Bay's arguably the best team in baseball this year.
Holiday's getting his looks and a lot of different pitches. 9 the first plate appearance, already 7 in this one. More pitches you see, the more likelihood you're going to get a mistake, and hopefully you can drive it. He's hit over 300 against him. He and Albert have hit very well against Giants in their career.
And the Cardinals, with that Randy Winn home run, have their first lead
since last Friday.
Since Friday.
A week ago Friday.
Popped up on the infield. That'll take care of Mr. Holliday. You can cheer on the Cardinals when they play their arch rival, the Chicago Cubs. That's September 24th through the 26th. And you can go on the official Cardinals road trip to Wrigley package. Each package includes hotel accommodations, game tickets, and an exclusive Cardinals event. Reserve your spot on the road trip September 24th through the 26th by calling 1-800-892-7687 or visit cardinals.com/vacations.
Yeah, the Giants picked up a game on San Diego, so they trail in the West by 5 games, and Milwaukee has an early lead, 3-0 over San Diego.
Ball hit hard to center field, and Torres on the run and makes the play over his shoulder. Well hit by John Jay. Very good defense for the Giants again, but Randy Winn has given the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. We'll look back at Bradford's career at the University of Oklahoma and see how he is adapting to life with the Rams. Spotlight Sam Bradford, Monday at 10 p.m. on Fox Sports Midwest.
Hey, happy 21st birthday to Joe Marcus.
You got a birthday, I've got a birthday. Brett Bainbridge is having a birthday today, big Cardinal fan.
Well, I got a better one for you.
You got another one?
Yeah.
Ball in front of the plate. Yadier Molina has to navigate the bat, which is laying right in front of home plate. That, my friends, is Geddy Lee, lead singer for Rush. He's at the ballpark here tonight. He's a friend of the Cardinal managers. Of course, he's got a lot of friends like that.
Rip Rowan to escort him into the manager's office today. Linda Martin, we missed you today. Hope a speedy recovery. Name me 10 Rush songs.
My son could.
I couldn't name you one.
Ground ball to third. Backhand by Felice. Good hands there. Throw a little bit high, but Albert takes care of that. And Tim Lincecum. Watch the Cardinals take on the Reds for the last time during regular season play. That'll be Sunday, September 5th. Kids 15 and under will take home a Cardinals pennant courtesy of Coca-Cola and Pasta House. For more information, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
Torres trying to take a little time to give a breather to Lincecum. I like the way Felice, really took his time, set up and throw after the backhand. Knew the pitcher was running. He's going to help him defensively, and hopefully his bat will come alive a little bit. Got 2 hits last night's game.
We have not seen a short home run in this series. Not one of those that just barely squeaks over the wall. 340, 345. That home run by Randy Wynn, 419 feet. In fact, you think of all the home runs that Albert has hit during this homestand, and really in the last week, most of them, if not all of them, out in center field. I would guess that's a good thing, meaning he's hitting the ball back up the middle.
Well, stay on pitches that way, and has something to do with where the pitch is.
Andres Torres, 0 for 2 on the night. Ground out and a fly out. Full count. And that one did not miss by very much. Good location for Carpenter. But it's walk number 2 for the Cardinal ace, and that brings in what we have to start calling a dangerous hitter in Buster Posey.
There's no doubt about it. Got promoted, and he's just been hitting on a tear. 343. Had a 21-game hitting streak earlier this season.
The longest in the National League, that 21-game streak. We finished that in the month of July, and he's got another one going now. Now up to 8 games straight.
I've seen Carpenter get upset at times when a pitch is missed, and at least this time not showing quite the emotion, so he steps off and takes a little stroll there, regroups, get back on the mound.
You're talking about birthdays, Al. You said you had another big one. How about a 100th birthday wish? Restora Privet watches all of the Cardinal games, and she turns 100 today. Congratulations.
She has a lot of family and friends watching with her, so happy birthday.
Restora probably watched you play, Al.
Let's see, she's only 100, so possibly
towards the end, maybe?
Well, the end of my career.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Might have. Televisions weren't invented back then, but.
Was it 75, Al? Refresh my memory, when you were the Fireman of the Year.
Yeah, 1875.
No, it was 19. I know.
1975.
Outstanding season out of the bullpen. Fireman of the Year, best reliever in all of baseball. And you look at these two teams here in this ball game, very good closers. And as we are clearly looking at a pitcher's duel so far, at least, what happens in the 8th and 9th inning looms important.
Very much so. I mean, Wilson has been outstanding, and so has Franklin, but just not as many opportunities.
Brendan Ryan fields it on the side, takes care of Posey. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Molina, Feliz, and Ryan are due up. The Cardinals will do battle one more time. A lot of fireworks in this series. And that game on the 3rd of September looms very important. Right here on Fox Sports Midwest.
Cardinals are going to turn things around, and we'll find from our text poll once they show that I'm sure everyone went A and thinks the Cardinals are going to win virtually every game, if not every game on the road trip, and then that showdown is going to be even more important. But that'll be a lot of fun.
Well, we hope there's optimism in Cardinal Nation despite the very difficult last week. You're going to have that throughout the course of a season. It is very difficult for the average fan, really for us, Al, anybody, to understand how the team can go so flat offensively so quickly.
I mean, it really is. But there's telltale signs that this has been going on, all season long. The inconsistent offense, many times, not taking advantage of outstanding starting, assignments. Had some rough losses in the bullpen, but you win as a team, you lose as a team. And we all know how hard this team works and the preparation that goes into every game, but when you don't hit, it's hard to look like you're energetic. It's hard to look like you're putting that maximum effort out, but we can assure you they are. It's just in a rut right now.
3-1 to Molina, ball 4. And that's the second leadoff walk issued by Tim Lincecum. And it's time for our AT&T trivia question. Which 4 current National League cities have never won a World Series? I happen to know the answer.
Well, I happen to know one. Would have thought about it. I probably could have come up with it, but you knew you were playing the Giants, and they won in New York, but not in San Francisco.
And all 4 of those teams have been in the World Series. And there's a ball hit down the line by Pedro Feliz. And it goes all the way to the corner. And he has trouble in the corner. Burrow can't handle it. Molina's going to score. And Feliz goes all the way to third base. And the Cardinals lead 2-0.
That's how you excite your new fans. You get an extra base hit, and then the bonus. Pat Burrell had 2 errors in the American League, but we'll see if they give one. I'm sure they will, a double and an error. And Molina chugging as hard as he can. He started to slow up going to third, but then when the ball got away from Burrell, he gets sent home, and the Cardinals have a 2-0 lead, but equally, they scored a 3-base hit all the way. And equally important that Feliz ends up at third base with nobody out. So bring the infield in. You've got to bring that other run home.
And a base hit for Brendan Ryan. And he's going to try for 2. And he's safe at second base. An RBI double for the Cardinals shortstop. Scores Pedro Feliz. And it's 3-0 Redbirds. There's taking advantage of opportunities.
Absolutely. Looks like he reaches out and gets this one, maybe up high enough to where he could hit it more in a line instead of, rolling over on it. But really comes through in a clutch situation for Brendan Ryan. He needed that, and he really has started to hit the ball like he did last year, and obviously his defense is much improved also.
And a big hit there for Brendan Ryan. Cardinals have struck twice here in the 5th inning against Tim Lincecum. And they still have an important run at second base, expecting Chris Carpenter to bunt. And the job here is to bunt it down the third baseline, move the runner over.
Hard enough to get it by the pitcher to make the third baseman come in and field it. And so nobody at third base, so Brendan Ryan can get over there. It's called a strike.
question is whether Chris Carpenter actually offered at that pitch or not. It was a high fastball. He tried to pull it back.
I think that's what Tony is referring to, that it should have been called a ball. And of course, Lincecum trying to get the pop up as he throws the ball down.
The last 3 outings of Tim Lincecum. 8 hits, and 3 hits. Didn't get past 4 innings in any of those 3 starts.
That's including tonight. And remember, he's lost 3 in a row coming into this evening's game with a 9-point ERA. Still has 11-game winner this year. And his ERA has bloomed up to over 3.5.
Chris Carpenter with one more opportunity to move the runner, Brendan Ryan, to third base for Skip Schumacher.
It's vital to help your own cause. Just doing the simple things, getting that man over.
Popped up, out of play. That'll be a strikeout of Chris Carpenter. Hey, Cardinal fans, this season it's easier than ever to find the seats that you want or sell tickets to the games you can't make on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the St. Louis Cardinals. You'll find great seats and great service on StubHub all season long. So go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today.
Cardinals have a 3-0 lead, but that is a missed opportunity that could loom large as this game moves along.
Never have enough runs. Skip Schumacher will try to pick up Chris Carpenter here, and that's what a team does that's playing well, Al.
Exactly right.
When you're on a winning streak, you forget about the mistakes because somebody covers them for you.
Exactly. You know, mistakes are so magnified in losses, but like you said, if Skip comes through here or Randy Wynn covers up the failure to sacrifice Brendan over to third, what would hopefully be an easy run. Coming into this game of the Cardinal lineup, Skip was the only one that had a home run against Lincecum.
Nasty off-speed pitch down and into Schumacher, makes it 0-2. Brendan Ryan pretty active leading off at second base. Wouldn't put it past him to try to steal third. Lincecum paying pretty close attention to him on those inside moves.
Lou Brock, who I probably saw steal close to 500 bases. You know, Lou rarely stole third base. And his philosophy was, he being out at second base, he was going to score on any base hit, so why take a chance? Well, I think Vince Coleman was the first really to, you know, he and Ricky Henderson kind of put in boat to steal third.
Medium fly ball to right field. And you don't want to test the arm of Jose Guillen. How about that throw?
Not
and
nothing really.
And nothing really gained there by him going from second to third, as you're talking about Brock stealing.
Right.
Now, Coleman did it as an offensive weapon to get into scoring position with less than 2 outs, or also to put pressure on the other team's pitcher, which he did at an extremely high level.
Now, it is a much closer throw for the catcher, but with that great jump, and you can really steal off the pitcher. You know, if you know how to do it, you know, you should have a high success ratio. But usually when you do get thrown out, you know, it doesn't look good.
Remember the day in Chicago when Vince and Willie stole second and third, and Vince slid off the bag at third and then got in a rundown, ended up scoring. Willie went to third, and they gave 4 stolen bases on that one pitch.
On one play. It's all one continuous play, and They had to call the Elias book to find out scoring on it, and they gave it 4 stolen bases.
Randy Wynn's home run in the 4th inning gave the Cardinals the lead, 1-0. They have tacked on 2 here in the 5th, and they're trying to pick up Brendan Ryan for the 4th run. Season average at .235 for Randy Wynn.
The Brewers had an early 3-0 lead on San Diego. Well, it's 3-3 now with Eckstein batting with the bases loaded and nobody out. David is the other second baseman in the National League with no errors.
He and Freddie Sanchez. That's pretty impressive when you're playing in the game 120 and beyond. There's a ground ball just foul. And the Cardinals are playing their 120th game of the season. They've actually played 4 fewer games than the Giants. And they've played fewer games than anybody in baseball, which means
no more off days.
No more off days.
Cardinals will play because they've added that September 20th is now a makeup game with the Florida rainout. They'll play 44 of the last 45 days.
1 off day, the 2nd of September.
The Cincinnati series.
Well, we might have to rest up for that one now.
You going to play or what?
No, I'm just going to be
geared up.
Geared up, jacked up, amped up, whatever you want to say. And strike 3 to Schumacher. He knew it. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Lincecum, but he gives up a pair more to the Cardinals. They lead 3-0. He won't be so relaxed tomorrow. Game time 12:30 on KSDK. Jay Randolph and I will have that telecast for you. And the Cardinals will be hoping to win the series on Sunday, but in order to do that, they're going to have to win here tonight, and they're going to have to beat Tim Lincecum. They do lead 3-0 behind Chris Carpenter through 5. Plenty of baseball to be had here tonight. Strike 1 to Aubrey Huff.
Victoria Dreyer, she likes that 3-0 score. I want to wish her a speedy recovery and hope you're feeling better quite soon. And we'll see you back out at Sportsman's Park.
I would say there are a lot of Cardinal fans that are anxious about a Cardinal victory here tonight. Bouncer to Schumacher. And Chris Carpenter getting fly ball outs early on, but now he's taken to the ground attack. brings in Pat Burrell. Cardinal fans not necessarily talking the language of must win, have to, but there is a sense of urgency that is starting to develop.
Yes, but you know, they're such great fans. They've been around a while. They know that Cardinals have achieved such a high level of success, and they still are very hopeful of this team. But you're right. The victory here tonight, and then propel that on to another streak. The old baseball adage that streaks follow streaks. So they had that winning streak, sweep in Cincinnati. Then they won the first game of the homestand. Now they've been on a 5-game losing streak. Hopefully they can reverse it and have a real long one. Same way as Cincinnati. You know, the Cardinals leave after that sweep. They've won 7 straight. Oh.
And the Giants have been streaky this year.
They're a couple games over 500 on the road, but lately they've had a few problems. They're a good ball club, you know.
And the positive streaks happen when you've got outstanding pitching, and you can just turn over your rotation a couple of times in a row and have guys like Carpenter, Wainwright, Westbrook have back-to-back good games. Next thing you know, you've won 8 games, 9 games in a row.
Sure.
The Giants can do that. The Reds can do that.
The Cardinals have the starting staff that is capable of going out there and shutting down the opposition. And
this ball hit in the corner. Inside pitch handled by Burrell and dug out of the corner by Matt Holliday. A 1-out double for Burrell is the 4th Giant hit of the night, and that's their first extra base hit.
We've seen Pat when he's been very, very good. Mentioned he's had success against Carpenter. Misses the location, leaves that ball in the middle of the plate, but he goes down and lines it into the corner.
Looked like a cutter that did not cut.
Yeah. Back up a little bit and becomes more hittable. In those good backup sliders that sometimes it's an excellent pitch, but not something you can teach.
Todd Worrell saved 30 games on that pitch. He had a good slider too, but they could not hit his backup slider, and that's basically a slider that doesn't work.
Doesn't work, but it
spins like it's going to work.
Yeah, it spins, and the hitter almost jams themselves.
Exactly. We used to call that Todd's torpedo pitch. It was spinning, but it was going straight. And this ball hit deep to left. Holliday to the track in the corner, and he makes the play in fair territory. And I've noticed of late that Matt Holliday's been liking to show off his arm a little bit. I think he's really been kind of energetic in how he's played the outfield.
And Rick, that is something that I don't understand why more outfielders don't do it. Because it puts you in a good position to throw. Dave McKay is the outfield instructor. But when you need to exercise that arm, if you don't play it like they're always running, or that you're trying to hold a runner there, you won't execute. So it's practice doing it, but when you come into a game, always assume the guy's going to be running and come up firing. Don't wait to see it.
There was a time when there was less activities right before the game and all the things that we do production-wise for a major league game that most teams would take infield. Now they do that work differently, but the Cardinals have gone to spending a lot of time working with their outfielders early on, actually throwing 2 bases like it's an infield practice. It used to be the standard thing that would happen right before a game. Each team would take infield, but now you've got to do that about 3 o'clock in the afternoon or you're not going to get it in. And Holliday has embraced that.
And it's just that good work ethic, but the only fallback is that when you did it before the game, your arm was pretty well loosened up.
Right.
If you do it at 3 o'clock, you got to re-stretch it out and get it ready for game action.
That's a great point. But we had a lot of activity today. Yesterday we had the Clydesdales, which was fun. And I had the feeling if we would have won the game yesterday with the Clydesdales, Tony might have made sure they were back again today.
David Peacock would insist that they'd be out there. So 89 pitches total. We'll see. Dave Duncan likes to, keep that pitch count, less than 15 per inning. We had one inning where it was 21.
This ball hit hard to center field. Jay makes the play on the run. A couple of hard hit balls in this inning, but the Giants with no runs to show for it. Pujols will lead it off for the Cardinals. Three to nothing Cardinals, bottom of the sixth inning. Albert Pujols set to lead it off. Albert sitting on 398 career home runs. What a career it's been.
That's got to kill you when you don't get to 400 like Dale Murphy. He's one behind Al Kaline and Andres Galarraga with 399.
What a great player Dale Murphy was for a 2 or 3 year period. Longer than that, really, but 2 or 3 years he was the best player in the game.
You know, I played with him down in Atlanta, and one of his MVP years. And
1-1 to Albert, fouled off. Gentleman.
Unbelievable gentleman and extremely religious. He was Mormon, and he really had a conflict of where his heart said he should be on a mission. And Ted Turner even told him one time, he said, "I've given you a mission. Every night you've got 40 million fans to preach to."
Pretty good mission.
But what a prince of a guy, and just a great family man. And
line drive up the middle, and it's a base hit for Albert Pujols. And he now has a 7-game hitting streak. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Lumiere Casino. Every time the Cardinals win the next day, get a free buffet with a purchase of one at the kitchen at Lumiere Place. Visit My Choice for details. And by Taco Bell, open 2 a.m. or later. Matt Holliday walked, stole a base, and was thrown out at the plate with Yadier Molina hitting. And he popped up to the first baseman in the 4th inning. Holliday at 3:01. Who holds the runner at first? The Cardinals sure have done a lot of damage offensively when those two guys are hot at the same time. We haven't seen it a lot and for extended periods of time, but when we've seen it, been pretty impressive.
They're both over 300. They're both the most productive hitters. And in my mind, many times, this offense, obviously it gels when the two big guys are swinging the bat. You know, they have to assume a lot of responsibility, and they do. They're getting the most money. But when they do not contribute offensively, then it puts so much pressure on the younger hitters. And then they try to go beyond their threshold, and they try to do too much. When these guys do produce, then everyone else kind of relaxes, and they just follow and join in the crowd.
You got your stars and your supporting actors.
Yeah, I mean, players understand who the thoroughbreds are.
1-2 to Holiday.
They both played with guys that are hurt, about guys that, either play me or trade me. And then the manager plays them and they play themselves out of baseball because you're better off playing on the bench.
I saw Steve Braun at the Hall of Fame induction of Whitey Herzog, and he's famous for walking in one day and somebody was hurt and he had to play 3 days in a row, and he came in one day and he said, "Hey, sit me or trade me. They're finding out I'm not that good. Let me go back to pinch hitting."
Bronny was a good
There goes
pinch hitter.
Pujols. He was. And Albert is safe at second base. Another bad throw by Posey, and Albert's going to go all the way to third base.
Well, the one thing, too, is kind of this combination. Posey has had 2 bad throws. His percentage is good, but Lincecum very slow to the plate. It is well documented that you can steal off of him. And that throw up the line, and good thing it didn't hit Albert in the head. But part of this is bad throws up to the right field side of second, but with the slow delivery, all the mechanics of Lincecum's delivery, he's very slow to the plate, and so people can steal at him almost at will.
Error charge to the catcher Posey. That's his 5th of the season. Albert with his 12th stolen base. And they just changed the error to the second baseman.
So that's his first of the year then.
I'm not sure about that call.
And
Matt Holliday, big strikeout for Lincecum with Pujols aboard at third base.
I kind of agree with you because, the throw is sailing into the runner. And you're second baseman, you're kind of screened, and it's not a good throw. In order to give the error to a second baseman, I think it's got to be a good throw.
That has to be changed.
And that's his first error since September 19th, if it still stays.
I'll bet you $1 it doesn't.
There's no betting in baseball right now.
Just theoretically, Al.
No, I don't deal in theoretics. And I'm just
you don't?
I'm just really right down,
Right, okay, Dale Murphy.
Yeah, that's it. It's the first time I've ever been linked with Dale. But
John Jay, an important at bat here. The Cardinals could use this 4th run.
Now Lincecum has something to say. And there's a snap throw, and Albert had his back, and it's a pretty good gamble there.
It's pretty close.
Sure, Oquendo was get back.
And that's why when you go back to third base, you always come back in fair territory. So
right.
The catcher has to either throw over your head or hit you in the back.
And you take your lead in foul territory, but when you go back to the bag, you get in fair territory, so maybe you'll get an errant throw. Pretty good pitch there, and Jay takes it.
There's Pujols taking his lead in foul territory. 1-1, the count to Jay, and a ground ball up the middle. Base hit! John Jay comes through again, and it's 4-0 Cardinals. That's a big at-bat for John Jay, and that's going to bring out the pitching coach, Dave Righetti.
Absolutely, and when you have the infield in, you hit the ball over the mound, you see the shortstop is in, he tries to recover. There's no way he could throw out Albert either way, but he could stop it from going the outfield, and probably wouldn't have the time to throw out Jay at first base, but
and we'll take a look at the results of our U.S. Cellular text poll. What are your expectations for the upcoming road trip? Well, this is very interesting, Al. We have some optimists,
yes,
and we have some pessimists, and we don't have very many people on the fence. How about that?
Well, the good thing is the optimists went out. But, this team is just Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, so people aren't believing in it as much as they traditionally do. And
it's a free country, and you're allowed your vote, and you're allowed your text.
And you know what? It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything because the players will decide it.
Base hit to left field for Yadier Molina.
I bet that poll would change dramatically if you win a couple games.
Cardinals all of a sudden with 6 hits in this game. They only had 1 hit through 4 innings. Lincecum is getting hit around a bit.
A breaking ball and just pulls it through, and that's it for Lincecum. So Ramon Ramirez will come into this ball game. That's it for the Freak.
Lincecum was very good early on. The Cardinals finally get to him. They lead 4-0. Ramirez makes his way to the mound. Plus Pat Paris and our very good friend Jack Clark will break down the game. Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live after the game on Fox Sports Midwest. Jack Clark came up with the San Francisco Giants.
Oh, yeah. Ramirez only appeared in 8 games since being acquired at the trade deadline from Boston. 38 years old. He was 0-3 with Boston, ERA 4.5, and 44 relief appearances. And he's stranded 17 of his last 23 inherited runners, 22 of 29 overall this season.
He will face Pedro Feliz as his first hitter. The Cardinals with 2 runners aboard. Swing and a miss, and more importantly, you owe me $1.
Forgot the bet that I didn't bet.
The bet that you agreed to, as I remember.
I didn't agree to no bet. I said there's no betting in baseball.
Catcher Posey has now been given that error, and it's been taken away from Freddie Sanchez, so his streak is intact.
And which it should be. If I were to bet, I wouldn't have taken that bet because you
agree with
correct. But I don't bet because there's no betting in baseball.
All right. We've got that settled. Ground ball to short. Tough play. And Feliz is thrown out. Feliz had a big hit in this game, Al. His triple in the 5th inning. In fact, a couple of big hits in this game by former Giants. Maybe Jack Clark can break that down, how important that is to contribute against your former team. But Feliz's triple, of course, wins home run in the 4th. But Feliz's triple may be the biggest hit in this game so far.
Yeah. The home run gave the Cardinals the 1-0 lead by win. But then that triple allowed them to score the second run and put himself in position to be driven in by Brendan Ryan when he hit his double and RBI. Here we are. The ultimate respect for Brendan Ryan to load the bases.
And a wise move here by Bruce Bochy in his 4th year at the helm of the San Francisco Giants. He's the manager for 12 years in San Diego.
I'm a real fan of Bochy.
Oh, I am too.
And he's done a nice job here in San Francisco. They've improved every season he's managed. It seemed like it was kind of odd when he went to San Francisco.
He'd done such a great job in San Diego. Two first-place appearances in 05 and 06. They won the division. They did not do well in the playoffs, but still.
Got to get there.
That'll load the bases for Chris Carpenter. Fireworks night is back at Busch on Friday, September 3rd. Stay tuned following the Cardinals-Reds game to watch the dazzling display of fireworks from the comfort of your seat. For tickets, visit us online at Cardinals.com.
Carpenter has one home run. He hit that late last season in Cincinnati for a first Grand Slam.
Could lightning strike twice?
Oh, we would hope so. And look at, they're very shallow in the outfield. Maybe for good reason, but
Carpenter is 0 for 2, but more importantly, Al, he's thrown up 6 zeros on that scoreboard.
And we hope that continues. You expect him to shut down an opposition. He might have a hard time with a slider.
Tapper up the middle. Handled by the shortstop, and he throws out Carpenter. Cardinals send 7 men to the plate. Pick up another run and lead by 4. In this game by former San Francisco Giants.
Jumps on this one for his 3rd Cardinal home run and gives the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. So good to see. And then Pedro Feliz comes up with a big base hit down in the left field corner. Molina's on. He circles the bases all the way from first as the ball got away from Pat Burrell down the corner, and Feliz ends up with a triple. Then he was driven in by Brendan Ryan. The Cardinals have added to it. They lead 4-0.
And Chris Carpenter with a very good curveball starts off the 7th inning to Mike Fontenot, strike 1. Book is closed on Tim Lincecum. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. He threw 91 pitches in this game. Cardinals have to be happy about what they were able to do against Lincecum.
Anytime you can score against him. Remember, he was 5-0 against the Cardinals with a .50 ERA. He had lost 3 straight. Tony was hopeful, but he is an outstanding pitcher. He's won the last 2 Cy Youngs in the National League.
And those 3 straight losses, the first time in his career he ever lost 3 games in a row. No Giant pitcher has gone this far in their career since 1950 without losing 3 games in a row. He's been an elite level pitcher for them, no question. 2-2 to Fontenot. Swing and a miss as he goes for a high pitch out of the zone. Strikeout number 4 for Carpenter. Perhaps not the location that Chris Carpenter was looking for, but the results are there. Cutter stayed high in the zone. Fontenot waves at it. That brings on Freddie Sanchez. Sanchez is 0 for 2. Lazy fly ball, shallow center, now right. Andy Wynn gets out of the way, and John Jay calls him off to make the play.
That's how you do it. Center fielder takes charge out there, but until you hear him to call him off, you, as a corner outfielder, have to run in, try to catch that ball. But as soon as you hear him call you off, you veer off and give him a clean path.
You said earlier there's no betting in baseball. There's also no whispering. You got to yell if you're going to communicate out there. It's a noisy ballpark, and you can't be timid about it, Al. You've got to be pretty clear that it's my ball, and you're going to hear me say it, and you have to say it loudly. You do. Another good curveball for Carpenter, as Nate Schierholtz will pinch hit for Ramirez. Schierholtz 7 for 22 as a pinch hitter off the bench for Bruce Bochy. And he played quite a bit last year on this Giants club. Ramirez went 2/3 of an inning, allowed just the intentional walk. Zeros beyond that.
You mentioned Schierholtz, 7 for 22 in the pinch this season. Not bad. However, he's just one hit in his last 9 pinch hit at bats. But last season, he spoiled everyone, hitting .357. He had 20 pinch hit base hits. Very slick fielder. Good man to have off your bench.
And as good as Chris Carpenter has been here tonight, he has yet to have a 1-2-3 inning. Jake Westbrook had 2 of them here last night in the 4th and 6th. And Carpenter is 1 pitch away from a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th inning. No action in the Cardinal bullpen.
Jeremy Affeldt is warming up for the Giants.
Carpenter at 102 pitches. We said it's not as hot as it's been in St. Louis in the last, but it's not. I wouldn't call it cold either, Al.
No. He's out of the 7th.
And a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Carpenter. Seems to be getting stronger. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Top of the order for the Cardinals. weigh-in is today's merchandise winner. The Cardinals hit a home run in the 7th inning. Harvey qualifies for the Hyundai Sonata drawing in September. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer. Veteran left-hander Jeremy Affeldt is our Chevy call to the bullpen. Affeldt began his career as a starter with the Royals and had a great start to his career, but has found a home in the bullpen. Appeared in 38 games already. The ERA a little bit deceptive. He's been better than that. And he has a very good curveball. This guy is a curveball specialist.
He also has good power fastball too. So a lot of weapons. A couple years ago, when he was with Cincinnati, was hopeful the Cardinals might land him, but became a little more expensive option, and the Giants picked him up.
That pitch, a hard curveball, just misses the inside corner to Schumacher. Again, it's nice to have a solid left-hander in your bullpen. The Cardinals pair of relievers, Trevor Miller and Dennis Reyes from the left side. Reyes questionable here tonight. That ball in front of the plate. Schumacher is thrown out by a step or two.
It's my understanding that he is not going to perform in this series.
But very tender with his arm.
Here you see young Buster Posey does a nice job here and guns the ball down. There's fine throwing on him. The throw he made to third was good, and his percentage of catching would-be base stealers was 31%.
Really good
tonight. But for whatever reason, he's rushed a couple throws. They've sailed on him.
Well, he's known for his arm at Florida State, where he played in college. In fact, during the College World Series, there were some games where he caught 7 or 8 innings and then came in and closed out the game. That's a lot of throws, Al, to do that. Be a catcher, then turn into a pitcher for the 9th inning. You don't have trouble getting loose, that's for sure.
All he is a recruiting tool now for Florida State. Randy Wynn switched over to the right-handed, where he's batting 154. He's around 290 or so left-handed.
Ground ball foul. Wins 419-foot home run in the 4th inning. Gave the Cardinals the lead they have not relinquished. Chris Carpenter has been riding that lead over the last few innings. Seems to be getting stronger and stronger, but the Cardinals bullpen will be called upon at some time. Swing and a miss, and down goes Randy Wynn. Second time he has struck out. And we'll take a couple of strikeouts if you can give us your big home run swing, our Hardy's prime cut of the game, and that's Randy Wynn.
It's his home run to lead off the 4th inning. Gives the Cardinals the 1-0 lead. Albert 1 for 3. Stolen base and a run scored, but I think we're looking for a long ball.
Number 399, perhaps. Ball hit to right field. And playable for Ian. 1-2-3 inning for Affeldt. On to the 8th here at St. Louis. time. Here we go. By AT&T Mobility. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. Chris Carpenter out for his 8th inning of work. Pitch count over 100. Top of the order for the Giants, Torres, Posey, and Huff.
Looks like Miller is warming up. And I'm sure Chris, trying to stop this losing streak, is saying, Tony, I need to go a little further in this game. But with the possibility of only having one more off day the rest of the way, I'll keep a very close eye on him.
Popped up, Molina turns his back to home plate. And that was a big league pop up there. And Torres is over 3. And what you do if you're Trevor Miller, and this is probably, Al, the conversation that Tony La Russa had with Marty Mason, just have him go along with it. Get him started, but don't kind of get lathered up too quickly. Just go along. If he has some trouble, start to throw a little bit quicker, get ready faster. Yes. No sense of urgency right now in the Cardinals bullpen.
Yeah, that's a real knack, and of course Miller's been doing it a long time, and so he's got it down pat to where you just kind of throw there, get yourself within those 8 warm-up tosses when you get on the mound that you're ready, but don't use too much of it down in there, spoil it, or leave it down in the bullpen. And remember, Trevor is the only left-hander available tonight. So
1-2 to Posey.
Carpenter looks like he's in that killer mode. You know, I'm going to finish where I started. Whether he'll get that chance at 110.
And a base hit to right field for Posey. This guy can hit.
He sure can. I mean, a real nice pitch, and you get a hitter that just has that ability to extend himself. Just throw one hand, throws the bat at it.
That's a cap tipper right there.
Yep, you just got to, you can say whatever you think, but ultimately you just kind of say, okay, you got me. And as long as it's a single, and now the way Molina is going out there, maybe we have reached that urgency where now Trevor Miller will throw in earnest, get ready.
Well, Tony had Yadier Molina go out to the mound.
If he's warming up, he's only warming up for this hitter.
And so that call is probably to get the right-hander up as well to go along with Trevor Miller. And here comes Tony La Russa.
Great effort by Carpenter. Now turn over the bullpen to close it out.
He has certainly done his job here tonight. 111 pitches for Carpenter. Outstanding performance. And what does St. Louis think of Chris Carpenter? 7 1/3 innings, 5 giant hits. He is responsible for the base runner Posey at first base, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Trevor Miller, the left-hander, takes over out of the Cardinal bullpen.
Maybe he's come out here for the only batter he's going to face, but you know he has not pitched in 10 days. So you always worry about your command and your control. It's hard to have a left-handed specialist that hasn't pitched since August 11th.
And a good slider from Miller. And Tony is using this one left-handed bullet that he has for this one batter in this one inning. And he'll have nothing but right-handers after this.
And you know, he got McClellan warmed up for Pat Burrell, and hopefully that'll be it. And second out here with Huff and Miller, and then bring in Kyle McClellan. And then the 9th inning. Depends on if Kyle gets out there, or you know, you could use Franklin if you so desire.
It'd be a tougher decision if the Giants had 3 or 4 really potent left-handed guys. You think about the Colorado Rockies, for example.
Yes.
All the good lefties that they have. You have to be really judicious about how you use your left-handed specialists. Line drive to center field, and it's going to be down in front of John Jay. And Posey showing a little speed, too, going all the way to third.
He's young.
And that's going to bring Tony La Russa out here, I would surmise. Kyle McClellan getting ready in a hurry in the Cardinal bullpen, and here comes Tony. And McClellan will come on. See if he can stop the bleeding here in the 8th. Sharp today. 6 hits in his 5+ innings. He started out well, but a couple of big hits by former Giants did him in. And Chris Carpenter, on the other hand, has been very sharp. 7+ innings. And he has yet to give up a run. He's responsible for one runner aboard now, and Kyle McClellan takes over for Trevor Miller here in the 8th. And the first pitch to Burrow is strike 1. Kyle McClellan's had an outstanding season.
Yeah, once again, 1.23 ERA since the All-Star break. Pitched well in the first half, and throughout his Cardinal career, he's pitched extremely well out of the pen. Very, very tough here at home. St. Louis native. Good rip there. To the center of the ball. Carpenter only look on. Great effort by Carpenter.
Kind of a helpless feeling once you leave the game.
Oh yeah, and he's trying to win his 14th game.
Relying on his teammates right now.
Yep, and that's why it's helpless.
1-2 is a good curveball on the inside corner. Burrow doesn't believe it. Late break from Kyle McClellan. Does this catch the inside corner, or does it break around the plate?
Well, it's a knee buckler and a little bit inside, according to Fox Tracks, but those calls have gone both ways tonight.
And good location either way. He tried to freeze him, and he did. Now he's got a chance of getting out of this inning and saving that run at third. Curveball low to Jose Guillen. Guillen is 1 for 3. That was a big out right there.
Big out is right. Nice pick by Molina. Backhanded it.
It's one of those he almost didn't have time to get in front of. Al, he just had to throw out his glove and pick it. McClellan has been steady all season long. I still think the Cardinals miss Jason Mott. Be nice if he gets a chance to get back in that bullpen.
I talked to Jason today. He's feeling a little better, trying to ease his way back there, but sometimes you have to just be honest and say something is bothering you and get it taken care of.
McClellan needs a strike here. 3-0 right down central.
Ricky, you never had arm problems, did you?
I had some. I was on the disabled list.
But I mean, you never had surgery.
I did. I had elbow surgery for chips and spur.
But chips. Yeah, I knew you didn't have Tommy John.
No, or shoulder. I never really used my shoulder, so it never hurt. It's kind of a flipper, so I had some elbow issues. And it's amazing what they can do now with surgeries.
Oh, it is unbelievable.
Carpenter knows all about that. So does Kyle McClellan. Sat out a whole year in the minor leagues.
Yeah, actually, I had that 2 surgeries on the elbow.
Keep and hold it short. Long throw from Ryan, and not in time. Brendan Ryan was almost in left field by the time he got that ball. Not much of an opportunity to throw out even Jose Guillen, who does not run very well. He's trying to help out his starter the best he can.
But just look at the range, and as long as that ball is, in that vicinity, and you don't throw it so blindly that you throw it up the line.
You don't want a mistake there.
With a lot of guys, and and as you mentioned, with Guillen, it's a 1% chance you might throw him out, but if it's somebody that can run a little bit, just put it in your pocket.
Whoa,
pretty good rip there. The Kung Fu Panda.
And Mr. Panda represents the tying run at the plate here for the Giants in the 8th inning.
That nickname was a lot better when he was hitting 330.
Scary at bat right here.
Got a bug in his eye or something. That's what's scary. Is spun away real quickly. Wasn't sure if Kyle was in his windup or not.
0-1 to Sandoval. And it's hit on the ground to the second baseman, Schumacher. And a good job by Kyle McClellan. Chris Carpenter on the positive side of this 4-1 Cardinal lead. portions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Right-hander Guillermo Mota will be the 4th Giant pitcher of the night. Cardinals lead 4-1. The Giants have out-hit the Cardinals 7-6. But more excitement on the Cardinals side. And a big day at the ballpark. We've been honoring our servicemen and women. A big thank you for serving. Glad you're here at the ballpark. And they're all smiles, and had a chance, many of them, to visit with Al Roboski before the game. And Mike Shannon was down on the field. And baseball is fun. It's great entertainment, but what these folks do really matters.
Hey, I outranked Red.
You did?
Yeah. Reason that Red, Shandy's, and Mike Shannon and I received those 3 pitches because we were all in the service. And Red was
not a Hall of Famer in that regard.
No, he was, but
they're all Hall of Famers.
They're all Hall of Famers when you're a private all the way on up. But that's real thrill. Anytime we can do anything to help the men and women of the armed forces, we're just thrilled to do it. It's an all-volunteer army now, and boy, we owe so much to them.
Without question. Matt Holliday's average right at 300 against Mota. There's a good slider for a strike. Mota, when he first came up to the big leagues, had as good a stuff as anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've always really liked him. He got caught using steroids, and I really appreciate his honesty, where he didn't try to deny it, didn't try to make excuses, said, I just made a mistake. And he has been very good throughout his career. He's led the National League relievers in innings pitched during 03, 105, 04, 96.2. He's logged over 700 innings in his 11-year Major League career. Became the 14th Major League pitcher to homer in his first at bat. If I don't remember, didn't he start as a catcher? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
I don't recall that.
Maybe started with the Dodgers.
I know he was a flamethrower with the Dodgers. Another big crowd here at Busch Stadium, 44,477. Sellout number 24.
I'm thinking of another Dodger pitcher that started as a catcher.
Here's a base hit for Holliday. That's his first hit. The average stays above 300 for him. And the Cardinals with a chance to score some more here in the bottom of the 8th. They already have a 4-1 lead. But we know how important those extra runs are. The Giants had the tying run at the plate in the top of the 8th.
Mota's been roughed up a little bit of late, but add on. The Cardinals need to add on, put those insurance runs. Ryan Franklin warming up, and he needs work either way, whether it's a save situation or not. He needs some work.
Fastball at the knees to John Jay. And I'd like to take an opportunity to thank Chris Bailey for the job that he did tonight, getting us on the air. A lot of issues were going on. Technically, he's the engineer in charge, and he did a lot of work just to make things happen. And our crew is so fantastic. Camera crew, guys in the truck.
They make our job so easy, because
really
when there are technical difficulties like that, we rarely know anything about it.
That's probably a good thing they don't tell us.
We panic. They don't.
That's right.
But not quite like the problems they had in Kansas City yesterday. Understand,
right.
Yesterday, the lightning struck not only the scoreboard, but both television trucks. So they had to play the game without the scoreboard and no television. Boy, I bet those people enjoyed it. Oh, it was postponed. So obviously, television is very important.
Hit and run. Holliday off with the pitch. John Jay fouls it off. Well, the rising popularity of Major League Baseball. All games telecast, and certainly all the internet opportunities that folks have to keep up with their favorite team. And it's become more and more of a worldwide sport.
Motors from the Dominican Republic, San Pedro de Macorís, that used to be the shortstop factory.
And a line drive to center field, but right at Torres, who catches it head high. John Jay hit that ball right on the nose. I assume you've been to San Pedro de Macorís?
Oh, absolutely. Played winter ball one time, well, I'd say 3 times in the Dominican, and one time went to playing for Mexico, went to the Caribbean World Series that was held in the Dominican. I love the Dominican.
Great country. I'd love to go back there. And the people of the Dominican Republic love Americans. So friendly.
Twice played for Licey and once for Escogido.
I was at Escogido Leone.
Yep.
And the wave has started here at Busch Stadium. Cardinal fans have had a little more to cheer about here tonight. Yadier Molina, 1 for 2 with a walk. Bounced out in front of Mota, and he'll have to go to first base. Matt Holliday advances to second.
And Franklin was throwing, then sat down, and now that there's 2 outs, he'll get up and finish his tosses. Currently, it is a save situation.
So he too is pitching along with the game.
True. Boy, it's a fine line how to warm up. And I think today's managers and pitching coaches really do a much better job than years ago, where from 7th inning on, you'd have a lefty and a righty warming up, just going along with even your closers would get up that early. And of course, you would never come in, you would never take out McClellan just because it's a safe situation. McClellan would go back out and pitch, and your closer would get up and would pitch in the bullpen to see if he got in trouble, then was there to come in. So you had a lot of more times that you would have 1 or 2 out saves, but then there were many times that you could have a 3 out save or a 3 inning save. But a lot of wasted innings in that bullpen take a toll.
2-0 to Pedro Feliz. Feliz, arguably the biggest hit in this game. Certainly one of the 2 biggest hits in the game.
And 2 hits last night. He's looking for his 2nd hit tonight in his 2nd game with the Cardinals.
His triple into the left field corner off of Tim Lincecum scored Yadier Molina. Still questioning whether that should have been a double and an error, but that's a different point.
And then it also set up the, then he was driven in by Brendan Ryan, but it all got started with Wynn and his home run.
2-1 to Feliz. There's a ground ball up the middle, and that's a base hit. Holliday rounds third, and he will score. And it's 5-1 Cardinals. Welcome to St. Louis, Pedro Feliz.
And his 2 RBIs tonight, along with his 2 base hits. So a big insurance run. Just right back up the middle and finds a hole. Holliday out there at second base. He comes racing home, throw a little bit offline. Cardinals a 4-run lead, at least going into the night.
We talked about how the Cardinals over the last week, Al, were only hitting .189 with runners in scoring position, averaging 3 runs a game during this losing streak. The Giant pitchers have been outstanding all year long at pitching with runners in scoring position. Opponents batting just .217. Their staff has been very, very stingy. The Cardinals have had some big hits in this ball game, and that's why they lead 5-1.
And the Cardinals really need to score more than they need to score at least 4 runs to win. They're about to win their 60th ball game when scoring more than 3 runs. Conversely, they've only won 5 games when they score fewer than 3 runs. Franklin will still come in. Only be about his second appearance in the last 10 days if he does come in this game.
That is one thing that Tony will do differently than some managers. Some managers almost become servants of their closer, and if it's not a save situation, they would sit him down, bring somebody else in. But there are times where if Franklin needs the work, he needs the work.
Yes, and you know, we've really tried to experiment the last 3 years trying to find the perfect combination for Ryan Franklin. I thought last season when he had trouble late in the years because he was used so infrequently. You know, he's a finesse pitcher. He's not a blow away guy like Brian Wilson. So he relies so much on his command. Well, if you're not, you know, he ended up pitching once every 6-7 days for the last 3 weeks. He doesn't have his pinpoint control, and so his pitches become more hittable. And
he has more pitches than most.
Right, and you know, so it's just in my mind, you know, you've got to put him out there you can't let him go more than 3 days, and then you just take your chances.
Brian Wilson saved the game here last night. He and Ryan Franklin, 2 of the top 3 relievers in the National League in terms of save percentage. Wilson picked up his 35th save. He's only blown 3 chances, and Ryan Franklin is 3rd in the National League in save percentage. Keith Bell with the Padres and that great pitching staff, he's number 1.
And Ryan just 21 saves, but in only 23 opportunities. So Ryan, he pitched in the Chicago series, picked up his 21st save on the 13th. Then it was, he waited 5 days to pitch, you know, in a non-save situation, and now this is his 3rd day. So and the importance of stopping a 5-game losing streak at home, you've got to bring your closer in.
When you don't have the lead for 44 innings straight, not much work for your closer.
Exactly.
3-2 to Brendan Ryan. And this one lined into the right center field gap, but Torres on the move. Takes care of Brendan Ryan. Ryan Franklin will pitch tonight when we come back.
Edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. Pat Paris and Jack Clark will be at Lumiere Place. Carp wins the Battle of Cy Young Award winners. The Cardinals tap some unlikely sources for offense, and we'll get Tony's take on the ball game as well. That and more coming up after the game as Ryan Franklin takes over for the Redbirds. We go back to the booth and Rick and Al, guys.
Thanks, Jim. We look forward to the post-game report of today's ball game, and it's been all good so far for the Cardinals. Ryan Franklin takes over here in the ninth, and we'll look forward to Pat Paris and Jack Clark and Jim Hayes on the Cardinals Live postgame show. And Ryan Franklin is hoping that's just 3 outs away. First pitch right down the middle to Mike Fontenot.
Not a save situation, but a closer has to manufacture a reason why you're out there and keep it sharp. Stop a 5-game losing streak, whatever it is to motivate yourself.
There's a long one to right field, but it'll be playable at the track for Randy Wynn, and Mike Fontenot gave that one a ride. He got a ball up in the zone, and Ryan Franklin may have gotten away with one there.
Well, he's a little guy, so I mean, you want him to hit the ball in the air because it's not going to be over the fence.
Might have worked in Chicago with the wind blowing out. But he's in St. Louis now. Freddie Sanchez, 0 for 3. Lifts this one to the right field corner. Wynn gives chase, and it goes out of play. Sanchez was, for a short period of time, given an error on a stolen base attempt by Albert Pujols. Later, the error was charged to the catcher, Buster Posey, who's been very impressive, Alta, you and I both, in this series. And Sanchez almost had his streak of errorless games stopped here tonight, but scoring change.
And in our mind, the correct scoring
one.
Change.
Agreed.
Freddie's had his troubles when facing Franklin.
No trouble there. It's time for our Budweiser Player of the Game, and that's going to go to Chris Carpenter, Cardinals starter. Outstanding here tonight.
7+ innings, 5 hits, 1 run scored after he left the ball game. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts.
And he's in line for his 14th victory of the season. He's only lost 4 games. The ERA will go down. Cardinal pitching staff.
Be 10 wins at home. Just one away from the 11 wins, 11-1 record by Wainwright.
Those 2 guys have been great, haven't they?
Well, they've been great all season long, but they have been absolutely dominant at home.
Cardinal staff is 3rd in the National League in earned run average. The Giants are 4th. So 2 good pitching staff. Not surprising you'd have a pitcher's duel here today, and it was a pitcher's duel through the first 4 innings or so.
And that's remarkable for the Cardinals to have that good of ERA when you lost 2 starters for more than 3 months.
1-1 to Travis Ishikawa as he pinch hits.
With his victory, Adam Wainwright, Chris Carpenter would combine to be 21-4 and push Stadium this season. 21-4.
Cardinals have been trying to win their 40th game at home for the better part of a week. 39-23 now at home. They were 11 games over 500 coming into play tonight, and they're trying to win that 40th game here at Busch. There's a swing and a miss, and that takes care of Ishikawa. And Ryan Franklin is just 1 out away from a much-needed Cardinal victory.
And a team victory. I mean, this is like they played airless ball, great starting pitching, bullpens come in and it's done the job. That same formula where the Cardinals starters go so deep that you don't ask the bullpen to throw a lot of outs. In this case, 5.
Andres Torres takes strike 1. Freddie Sanchez down to second base, no stolen base. Cardinal fans on their feet. 5-1 Cardinals. Franklin. And a line out to the third baseman and newest Cardinals, Pedro Feliz, secured the Cardinal victory here tonight as they win this one 5-1. Randy Wynn, a home run. Feliz, some offense, good Cardinal defense. And Chris Carpenter picks up his 14th victory of the season. Postgame is next.